Hey guys, how's it going? Twigs here. So, Tectone came across, I think, an interview with Dawei, or something involving Dawei, where he was giving his take on Honkai Star Rail and what it has currently become. And according to Tectone's title, he apparently hates what Honkai Star Rail has become. Dawei, that is. And for you guys that don't know, Dawei is the CEO of Hoyoverse. He's the one who's pretty much in charge of everything involving Hoyoverse, whether it be Genshin Impact, Honkai Star Rail, ZZZ, Honkai Impact 3rd, yada, yada, yada. So I wanted to kind of get his take on this interview since he discovered it and kind of gauge what Dawei has said in this interview and kind of, like I said, give my take. So with that being said, hit that like and... And let's jump right into the video.
Okay, now what the hell is this? Dawei isn't satisfied with Amphorius from his speech at university.
Okay.
No shot. Well, which part of it, man? Is it the dialogue bloat? Is it the black screen white text? Is it the lack of exposition? Is it the horrific world building? Is it the horrific storytelling? Is it the power creep? Is it the global passives? Is it the spending event? Or is it like some combination of all 8? I think anybody else on Earth could have treated Honkai Star Rail better than the devs themselves. Once again, guys, get Xiao Ji the fuck out of the company. He is obliterating any enjoyment in the story whatsoever. Oh, it's actually white screen black text now.
Yes, it has become such a sad state. And this is a game that both he and I have loved. I loved Honkai Star Rail back in the day. I actually enjoyed Honkai Star Rail for the good chunk of Pinacone. I did start to see in Pinacone things kind of taking a negative direction. But it was definitely, I think, after the Fei Xiao story back on the Jianzhou Luofu, where things just took a terrible... well, after that point is what I'm saying. After that point, things just took a bad turn. And then with Amphorius, it's just been so lackluster. And the thing is that when I play through the Amphorius story, I see some good stuff. I think there is a good story in the Amphorius arc. But it's like Tectone just said, there's so much dialogue bloat. There's so much exposition dumps. The black screen white text. Everything. And that's just story related stuff. Like Tectone also said, power creep, global passives. There's just so much that's just ruining the game that it's just killing the enjoyment.
You're right. Now I'm getting flashbanged and lazy development.
Yeah.
Fantastic. So this is Dawei giving a speech at a university. Very interesting. Okay. Honkai Star Rail mentioned that he wasn't very satisfied with what the team did with Amphorius. The team's creative desire was too high with many unnecessary designs. Okay. All right. This can be applied to a lot of things. I think another thing that is okay. Also, this website needs to not show me Oblivion Remaster because I want to play so bad right now. It's fucking ridiculous. But here's the thing: the amount of unnecessary bullshit in this game is insane. And this is kind of the trend with Hoyoverse. People praise the game for amazing updates when they remove features that were in the game. And I want to remind you guys: people don't praise them when they add stuff. They praise them when they remove stuff. And I want you to just remember how backwards that is. When your game is so bad, the best updates are removing what was in the game. And I'll be real, guys. Tell me when I'm telling lies. You remove everything after 2.2, and the game infinitely infinitely better. Yep. Anyways, Alicia was designed by the former president of the NCTU Animation Club. We'll check social media, but not constantly because there's too many extreme voices. The data can sometimes verify community things. And this right here, the extreme voices. This is what I mean. And this is a exact example of why I'm right and everyone else is wrong once again. A lot of people like to doubt that I'm pro-consumer. Well, here's the thing, man. There's a big difference between being pro-consumer and being a retarded consumer, okay? When the company sees way too many people saying, we want a free zany, we want 200 free polls, we want free Kachona, that's just not gonna fucking happen.
I absolutely agree with that. There are so many people who will just make unnecessary, insane demands that are just not practical. At the end of the day, we're talking about a business, and like he's kind of using with Wuthering Waves as an example. There is no way in hell that a company is going to make their newest character free. The only time I've ever seen that, and I still questioned it, but I wasn't gonna say anything because, okay, let's go, was Dr. Ratio of Honkai Star Rail. And I think that was just because they took a strategic approach in using what was going on at the time, which was the Game Awards giving them Best Mobile Game of the Year award, and just capitalizing on that hype and giving away Dr. Ratio for free as a way to build interest in the game. I think that was strategically done to generate interest in the game. I do not think that was a just goodwill gesture. I think that was done with a meticulous purpose. But outside of that very, very niche circumstance, no normal situation will occur where a company just gives away a brand new 5-star for free. But I do think as a person who is pro-consumer, there are other ways, and there are very many other situations where you can demand things that are reasonable as a consumer. Asking for a free 5-star in an anniversary reward situation is fine, as long as you understand that a company is not going to give away their newest 5-star. I think it's reasonable to ask for a new 5-star from a few patches ago, because the hype for that has already gone and passed. As I tried to say, there is definitely ways that you can compromise, and there are definitely things that you can argue for as a consumer.
The company is looking for a reasonable place to pivot to, follow that path, and fulfill those wishes of the reasonable consumer. Just because I'm not asking for Solon's left lung doesn't mean that I'm not backing the consumer. It's that I'm an advocate for advocating reasonable things that the company can deliver on, to where I as a consumer can be satisfied, and the company can actually deliver on those wants and needs. That is the difference. I mean, a free zany ain't that much. Yeah, man. Let's give the most hyped unit in Wuthering Waves history away for free.
Exactly.
Yeah, they're gonna do that. Yeah, they're gonna do that 100%. The data team can verify some community things. Our game rarely has clipping issues, which is supported by the AI technology. Amazing. After the 3.2 release, there was an internal meeting. Originally, they wanted to give a chance to see how the anniversary version content would perform, but in the end, they still felt the version content wasn't good enough. Yeah. And we're really not shocked by that. I want to reread that. After the 3.2 release, there was an internal meeting. Originally, they wanted to give a chance to see how the anniversary content would perform, but in the end, they still felt the version content wasn't good enough. So I want to remind you, everything that happened for the anniversary was legitimately a test. And that's why creators who stand on business, like myself, like Gotcha Smack, and me, of course, would say, if they actually put this in the game, then we're going to fucking quit. And you guys who did pull on this when you didn't like it, I'm just letting you know, they were literally testing y'all to whether you were going to do it or not. Right? Now, thankfully, sounds like it wasn't good enough. But you have to understand that that was how much can we fuck with them? Will they take this? Let's see how they handle this.
And it was just, I think it didn't go over well. I think they probably did make money. I don't think it met their expectations, but I still think they probably did make money. because Castorus was a very hyped unit. So I'm sure, like I said, they made money, but I think they were probably expecting like shitloads of money. And on the other hand, if we're not just going to talk financial, the update was not critically received well. From what I understand, because I personally have not played 3.2 story, but from what I understand from the general consensus of the community is that it was just mid, which is not at all what you want with this story. I mean, this is the follow-up to Tectone, and overall Tectone was received really well. It's just that it was the beginning of something that turned into a problem, which is a lot of dialogue bloat and not enough action. There was some decent action in Tectone's story, but not really as much. What carried Tectone was that it had really fucking good lore. Amphorius, on the other hand, I see a good story in it, but it's just so dialogue bloated that the good parts of the lore, the good parts of the story are just watered down by so much bloat, so much exposition dump. It's pretty much Tectone, but worse. And it's just a trudge to get through. And then on the other hand, it also felt like a slap to the face because the things that they said that they were going to fix with 3.2 story didn't really make much of a difference at all. And then you add in the widescreen black text, that just feels like a slap to the face, like, oh, I know how I will fix this problem. I will inverse it. I will flip it on its head and give you the widescreen black text. That's what you guys actually wanted. You didn't want anything else besides just me flipping the color palette.
And they're trying to see how far they can poke y'all into getting away with more predatory practices and lazy fucking updates. It is the truth, whether you want to admit it or not. Okay, I'll go through all this. Thank you, actually, Chatter. Thank you, Chatter.
Okay.
So, a summary of DeWay's interview. Amphorius was not well made. There was too much creative desire, which made it unnecessarily complicated. I always tried playing competitive games myself. I look at social media, but I don't rely on it much because there are too many extreme opinions. We've already read all this. When I was young, I made some investments. True. The reason for significant change at the launch of Zenless Zone Zero was that the game made a big mistake at launch. True. There was a company we thought we could never succeed, but it surpassed us. Arkanites. True. Although I'm the company's legal representative, I can only sign official documents with my name away. I didn't leave a memo, but the important point is that we held review meetings for both Amphorius and then Zone Zero at launch. I cannot give direct instructions to specific project teams. It could cause backlash, higher level teams. We also valued that Sumeru had shortcomings in completion and conducted a review on it. Yes, Sumeru sucked fucking ass. And
Sumeru was, in Genshin, a tale of two different worlds to me, because world design, I actually really liked Sumeru, and also I really did like Dendro. Dendro revitalized another element that was literally dying, and that was Electro. When Sumeru came into the game, it just took Electro from bottom tier element to top tier element right next to Dendro. And it helped Pyro a little bit, but it just put Electro on crack. Also Hydro, obviously Hydro too, because Electro with Hyper Bloom. But it saved Electro as an element. So on one hand, gameplay wise and world design wise, I liked Sumeru. Story wise, it was very, very mid. The beginning of Sumeru's story, where you're doing that whole like dream world state at the end with Nahida, it was just okay. The second act of Sumeru was actually very, very not that good. And then the final act of Sumeru, when we fought Scaramouche, that was actually kind of good. But the rest of the Sumeru update with going into the desert, even though I liked exploring the desert, it was kind of boring. It was kind of boring. And Sumeru, there was some good, basically what I'm going to get at is that Sumeru had some good stuff, but it was also very, very not good at the same time.
I'm glad the company fucking agrees. Holy shit. But yeah, it appears that 3.2 was a test to see how much bullshit they could get away with provoking the players. And yeah, not gonna lie, blatantly obvious. Just my opinion. Glad I got out when I did.
But overall, I think this was an interesting kind of look into, kind of see what Dawe has on his mind as the CEO of Hoyoverse. And even though I think he has a slightly skewed perspective of everything, obviously he's going to be coming from the mentality of a CEO whose job is literally to make as much money as possible with his company. I think he understands that there is some bullshit that you just can't get away with. And right now, it's very clear, based on that very, very top part here with Amphorius, I think he sees that HSR is just going in a bad direction. And when your game, one of your best games right next to Genshin Impact, is just not doing well at all, and it's all due to your devs just shooting the game in the foot every fucking time they put out an update. And this last update should have been a win. It should have been absolutely a win. You have literally Castris, one of the most highly anticipated characters in a while, and it doesn't meet the expectations that you had, because literally the devs decided to shoot the update in the foot by implementing bad game design and also trying to see if they can get away with a spending event, at the same time adding features that the players themselves did not want in the game. Yeah, you're gonna probably pay for it. And like I said earlier, I do believe that this update made money. I know that there are enough people who are just going to say, fuck this, and spend money anyways. But at the same time, I do believe also that they did not meet the expectations that they probably had for this update. It probably fell short of the expectations that they had. So, interesting interview. I do kind of wish there was a little bit more, but it still shows what's going on through Dawe's mind. So with that being said, I'm going to leave a link in the description below for Tectone's video. Definitely hit that like and subscribe button for him. He makes really good content on several different types of gacha games and just funny content in general. So definitely check out that link in the description below. Hit that like and subscribe button for Tectone. And while you are at it, hit that like and subscribe button for me. I greatly appreciate it. And with that being said, thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys later.